Hey guys, it's churches, graveyards and graves. I swear I've just come in here just to show you my array of headwear half the time. Do you know what? This is actually a Vietnamese motorcycle helmet, although I tend to use it for cycling because you can see how useless it would be. It says it's Adidas, but that's a complete lie. I'm sure Adidas do not make a range of Vietnamese motorcycle helmets. Well, they might do, but I don't think so. Anyway, let's get back onto churches rather than motorcycle helmets from Vietnam. Do you know what? I'm at St. Helens in Stapleford, and what's really interesting is what's in this churchyard. And here is an old original Anglo Saxon cross. Now, as I've told you before, most Anglo Saxon crosses were got rid of, but this one has remained. To be fair, they found it in bits all around the churchyard in around 1760, but they have put it back together. And this cross dates from around 800 to 850 AD. So certainly around the time of obviously Mercia, and they reckon because it was rounded, it's from the Mercian times. It's made of local stone, Derbyshire millstone grit. So I'm going to turn it around, just show you and just explain a little bit more to you about it. Here we go. So here is the Anglo Saxon cross. So obviously, because most of it was found in the churchyard, they've had to put it here at the front. It's a grade 1 listed memorial, and you can see all these wonderful Saxon swirling patterns on it. I'm just going to go around here. Some of it's in the sun a little bit, but I just wanted to show you this. Now obviously the plinth it's on, you can see the swirling patterns quite nicely there. Can you see these circles, which are very typical of Anglo-Saxon patterns? And as you go up, you can see even more patterns, but there is a little bit of light on it, so I'm hoping that you at least get some of that. But these are absolutely fabulous and incredibly old. Now, most Saxon crosses were got rid of in the Reformation because they destroyed anything. And what's really noticeable about this cross, although it's got all its lovely markings and it's in the rounded style of Mercia, the plinth is definitely not original. It's got these metal railings. And also the top is definitely not original. So you've got this ball on the top, which I would suggest was, you know, Georgian or Victorian, certainly a much later edition. It would have been a proper cross. But what is amazing is this. So you've got these wonderful geometric patterns that the Anglo-Saxons love putting on, but you've also got this like angel here, and they think it was probably St. Michael. So let's just go a bit closer so you can see that. It's quite crude in many ways, and that was what was distinctive really about Anglo-Saxon carvings, is that they were quite distinctive and they were quite simplistic as well. And here we have what they think is St. Michael, and you can just about see some sort of spear and serpent on him, which is absolutely stunning. It's a really nice thing to see, and quite rare to see a genuine Anglo-Saxon cross in a churchyard. So that was the Anglo-Saxon cross, and you can, I don't know, so you can sort of see it there. It's right over there, and it's not particularly a massive one. You did get some much bigger ones, but it's beautiful to see it with all its lovely geometric shapes. So I'll show that you again at the end. But I've just brought you now to a graveyard in the same churchyard, and I just love this grave. I might have done it before a while back. And it's really interesting because it tells the story of an accident, and it's about Thomas, the son of Thomas. Yes, Thomas, the son of Thomas, and Hannah Bramley. And this young lad died in a Times coach accident. So obviously, when the coaches used to, like, you know, the stagecoach coaches used to fly by, this was like very early, like road traffic accident. To be honest, that's what it was. So I'm going to turn it around and read it out to you, because basically it tells that story. So here we go. So it says here that Thomas, the son of Thomas and Hannah Bramley, who was killed by the Times coach on the 26th of January 1833, aged 5 years. So you can see that. And it says, Times race with me clear, parents soon was o'er, how happy where trouble is no more. Oh, could I speak, I'd tell you not to grieve, my Jesus chose thus early to receive an infant worm into his close embrace. So weep not for me, but adore the grace. Be not cast down as those who have no hope. Remember Jesus bears the mourner up. A God remains with you, a worm removed. My parents weep not though I was beloved. Amen not you can love me still, where I eternally felicity enjoy. You through rich grace shall meet and dwell with me on high. And also of Joseph their son, who died an infant on the 14th of April 1827. So here we have a wonderful epitaph and a wonderful story, really. A beautiful little 5-year-old in 1833 basically suffered a road traffic accident, except it wasn't a car, it would have been a stagecoach, it would have been a horse-drawn stagecoach, whether they ran away. And I also love these epitaphs because it's like the little boy is speaking to the parents about his experience as he goes up to be in heaven with the Eternal Father. And I just think that's it's so lovely, the way that it's like the grave is speaking out to us, or certainly to his parents in this case, and that's really fabulous. And this is a really sad sort of grave, because they also had another infant die in 1827. So can you imagine, they had 2 sons, Joseph, who died in 1837, and then their first son, who died in 1833. So, you know, this is really in so many ways a really sad grave, but incredibly interesting. I brought you to another little grave here. It's still in St Helens in Stapleford, and it's a little bit worn. I can't really see it, and it, to be honest, it's buried into the floor. But I just wanted to show you this symbolism, because you don't often see this. I mean, you know, now and then you do see it on some graves, but this is Father Time here, and you can see him here, and he's kind of got like this is quite crudely carved, actually. He's got some sort of scripture on his pedestal, and he's got his right foot on a ball, so it's basically telling you, can you see this wonderful foot on the ball? And this is really telling you that, you know, time is over all the earth, you know, everything is running out of time. So Father Time, the commander of the earth, and he has got kind of ribs, so he's kind of skeletal. And some earlier graves do show him in like more of a skeletal form, but this guy is more of a sort of a human form, but he's still got his wings. And if you look there, you could just about see that he's still carrying the reaper's scythe, and he's still carrying an hourglass, telling you that, you know, everybody's time on earth is limited, and when the reaping comes, it's coming. That's how it is. And that's the symbology of this grave. Now, I can't tell you the dates, but it's probably 18 something, early 18, maybe 180 something. These graves generally were a little bit earlier than some of the others, some of the more decorative forms. But it's just really nice to see this Father Time figure. Sadly, his scyther's about gone, but you can just see it there with the shaft there, and this wonderful hourglass. Just absolutely love that. So as we go up, I just wanted to show you now the churchyard, and this is St Helens. So St Helens has been somewhat modernised, so I'm going to turn this around. This is actually St Helens and the wonderful spire. And if you look right up there, just to point it out, you can see the crow, which a lot of the weather vanes are, you know, the cockerel, because it, you know, denoted Peter's denial of Jesus 3 times. And we'll get these lovely windows here, these tracery windows, but a lot of this will be heavily restored. So I brought you to one more grave in St Helens, because this is just another really sweet grave and quite unique, really. So I'm just going to you know, read some of this out to you. So this is in memory of Catherine Porter, the granddaughter of John and Lydia Barton, who departed this life on the 18th of June 1831, aged 12 years. Respice Finum. So obviously there's some Latin there at the end. And again, this is another child's grave, but this time it's the granddaughter of John and Lydia, So what had happened to the parents, it's not known, but it's interesting that it mentions the grandparents here. And this symbolism is relatively different and certainly quite childlike. So just want to show you this. So you've got these two like childlike cherubim here with these little wings, and you can see how the heads have been carved. I'm not sure what's happened to the guy on the left. The little one on the left, he seems to have a bit of a squashed head, but they're like intertwined in some sort of loving embrace. And if you look closely, they've like got two little peace doves there. So it's just a really gentle, peaceful, memorial depiction of this 12-year-old. So again, another sad story really of a 12-year-old who's passed, and the grandparents honouring them with this grave and this carving, which really demonstrate quite a lot of childlike carvings on it. So it's just absolutely fabulous. And you've got these beautiful little peace doves as well, and these lovely cherubim. Just an absolutely fabulous grave there. And there it is. They've all been laid at the side, so there won't be any like bodies here, because most of these graves have actually been moved. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing those wonderful graves and that amazing Anglo Saxon cross. Very rare to see that. These graves tell a story. The child who died in the road traffic accident, this beautiful grave of the 12-year-old, and the other children over there in Father Time. And also, like just behind me, a lot of churches do this now. Beautiful, like wildflower little meadows, trying to encourage nature into these wonderful graveyards. Very peaceful. But someone asked me yesterday, do you ever get any spooky disturbances in churches? Do you know what? The answer is no, I don't. I don't worry about the dead, to be fair. It's not really something that really bothers me. I find these places absolutely wonderful. I don't think the dead have ever hurt anyone, as far as I know. I've never heard of it. So it's just fabulous to be in them. And you can see the foundation stone over there. You just see it, and it actually says that it was a Masonic ceremonial that it occurred in 1923 to put that foundation stone in. So there would have been an original church here. But as I said, a lot of this church has been heavily restored. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do like my videos, then please like and share them and get the word out. I try and be enthusiastic about it. I just love churches. To be honest, I just love history. I love churches and I love history. So, and if you do too, please watch it and share it, and go and look around all your own local churches, because I can't get to all of them, especially, because I move around so slowly. But, if you get a chance to go to them, send some photos on it and I'll look at it, because I just love looking at the churches. There's some amazing things in them. See you again soon, guys.